Finally, the African Cup of Nations has begun, and what an entertaining openers we've had, talking about Group A, where you had Cameroon come back from a goal down to defeat Burkina Faso by 2-1, and the other match in Group A also had Cape Verde, despite being hit with COVID-19 infections, still able to edge Ethiopia by a lone goal. It's on that note I welcome you to another edition of the Arena. I promise to be exciting as always. It is the first edition of the week, and talking about 2022, it is the second week of the new year. I'm not doing this alone. I've got my very good friend and guest here, Joba Ogunwale. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Samson. It's good to be back again.
This new year?
Yeah, this is my first
so
time.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Let's delve into it straight up. African Cup of Nations, the opening match, wonderful, opening ceremony. It was quite colorful and artistic. It brought the African culture, out. It was on display. But to the fireworks itself on the match, do you think it lived up to the billing?
Well, from the first minute of the game between Cameroon and Burkina Faso, you could see why AFCON is actually special, because there was a yellow card in the opening minute for a dangerous tackle, and it was what we expected from AFCON and all that. But overall, it was actually a beautiful game of football. Cameroon edged it. You could say, okay, Burkina Faso were guilty, like they were their own enemies, because I think they gave away 2 unnecessary penalties, like, you understand. But I think on the balance of play, you could say, okay, Cameroon deserved to win because they dominated possession and all that. But it was a beautiful game of football. Even the game between Ethiopia and Cape Verde, I was not really expecting much from it, but it was also a lively game, even though it ended in 1-0 in favor of Cape Verde. Okay,
let's start with Cameroon, against Burkina Faso. That's it. And it was very, very cagey, so to speak, at first. There were quite a handful of opportunities for Cameroon. Vincent Abubakar was everywhere. How instrumental was he on the night?
I think the reason why it was cagey in the opening stages is because probably both teams were nervous, and you don't
just be mindful.
It was the opening game, so both teams didn't want to really commit
so much to the attack,
because probably they don't want to take too much risk. You understand? But I think when Burkina Faso scored, the game opened up. So. Vincent Abubakar, he was, aside from the 2 penalties, he was brilliant. I think he led the line very well. He was a menace in the out of Burkina Faso's defense, and I think he took the 2 penalties perfectly well. He is the first player, I think, since Victor Moses to score 2 penalties in a single AFCON game in 90 minutes. So it was a well taken penalty. It was 2 well taken penalties. But I was really disappointed with Burkina Faso, because if you look at the 2 penalties they gave away, they were stupid and reckless challenges from Bernard Traore, and I've forgotten the name of the other guy. They were reckless challenges, and I'm not really sure if if they had not given that penalty away, you could still say Cameroon had enough quality on the bench, because they brought on Choupo-Moting and Clinton Njie. But I think it would still have been difficult for them to actually get the win, because we know how difficult these conditions are, especially at the AFCON.
Okay, let's move on to the next match. Talking about Group A, you had Cape Verde against Ethiopia. On paper, it was probably straightforward win for Cape Verde, considering they're a better football nation than Ethiopia. But they were hit with COVID, coaches, players. It was literally a depleted squad, but they were still able to get the job done.
Yeah, but I think the decision in the first half played a key role.
The red card?
The red card. It was a deserved red card. But surprisingly, I was not really impressed even after Ethiopia went in man down, because I think Ethiopia got better as the game went on, and Cape Verde were poor even with the man advantage. But it was really, really important for them to actually get that particular win. Because they were going to play, on paper you say Cameroon and Burkina Faso are expected to actually be the top 2 winners, and the 3-4 best placed teams will qualify. So I think it was really important for Cape Verde to get that particular win against Ethiopia.
Okay, let's look forward to today's matches. Remember that 4 matches kicking off today as well. You have the big one, Ghana against Morocco. That's the one everyone is looking forward to. Senegal against Zimbabwe seems like a mismatch of some sorts, especially when you consider the stark difference in quality of players that both teams have. So, Ghana against Morocco, no better way to open up that group, talking about Group B. The Ghanaians have not really been at their best. Even during the World Cup qualifiers, we saw the controversial match against South Africa. What do you expect against the Moroccan side?
Surprisingly, I find it strange that in most people's picks to win the Nations Cup, most people are actually ignoring Morocco. Many people are actually ignoring Morocco. Despite the abundance of talents in their squad, they have Hakimi, they have El Nesri.
They even dropped out Ziyech.
Yeah, they dropped Ziyech. They have this Sevilla goalkeeper Bono in their squad. So I'm actually surprised that people are actually not picking Morocco. But I can understand why people are actually not picking Morocco, because sometimes I think if you look at the last AFCON, they lost to Benin Republic via the penalty shootout. So I could understand, like, they tend to underachieve despite the quality in their squad. But on the looking at the Ghana squad, I don't think the Ghana squad really strike fear into opponents. Even if you look at their squad, I don't really think any one of them plays for a top club.
Even the Ayew brothers,
a top club in Europe. Andrea, you plays for
Swansea before.
He now plays for a club in Qatar outside. And Jordan Ayew actually has been on his form has been not really been impressive for Crystal Palace this season. So Thomas Partey plays for Arsenal, and his form Thomas Partey has been inconsistent with Arsenal. So I think I'll give Morocco the edge here. It's going to be an entertaining game. I think it will also be a tactical game. It will be a cagey game. I think Ghana will prefer to actually sit deep, because I don't really think they have the qualities to actually go out against Morocco. So I think Ghana will actually sit deep. So you expect Morocco to have more of the ball. But I think at the end of the day, I think Morocco's quality should actually edge them ahead of, over the Ghanaians.
Okay, so there you have it. Joba has told you guys, those who would want to, stick their money where their mouth is, talking about predicting football matches. Remember, you can also predict and win on the show. And the 3 matches we'll be giving you regards the African Cup of Nations. You have Ghana against Morocco. We'll be expecting your predictions. It's the correct score, it must be said. It has to be the correct score. So follow us on our social media platforms, and you can stand a chance to win an amazing prize. It's courtesy of iBrandTV. Now, let's delve into the next match. Senegal against Zimbabwe. That's another match you can predict and win. Remember, it has to be the correct score only for you to stand a chance to win. Now, of the 3 matches, you have to correctly predict at least 2 of the 3 matches. So you have Ghana, Morocco, you have Senegal, Zimbabwe, and you also have Guinea, Malawi. Those are the 3 matches that are up for predictions on the show. You have to predict 2 out of the 3 correctly to stand a chance to win. So where you're sure, you're certain that your betting pundits, is certain, that you can always stick your money where it is. So just follow us on our social media handles and then send in your predictions. We'll take through all of them, and when the results of the matches are over, or when they are in rather, we'll definitely pick the winners, those who get the predictions correctly. Remember, it has to be 2 out of the 3 matches: Ghana, Morocco, Senegal, Zimbabwe, and you also have Guinea against Malawi. So Joba has given you a prediction, or has given you a tip, as it were, that Morocco will edge and get the win over Ghana. So that's something you should stake. Correct score lines only. Senegal against Zimbabwe, it's a mismatch. But Aliou Cisse's team have COVID issues. So how well can Mane get them through the finish line against a Zimbabwean team that you can't even, pick out a single star player that would probably cause an upset?
I think Senegal and Algeria are definitely the favorites.
Definitely.
For this tournament, for the trophy. So, and one of the reasons why Senegal is actually a favorite, like the clear favorite, is because they have so much depth in their squad.
So much.
So a whole lot of their squad plays
with top clubs.
Top clubs in Europe's top 5 leagues. You understand? So you could understand why Senegal. So 4 of their players, including Chelsea's Edouard Mendy and Napoli's Kalidou Koulibaly tested positive for coronavirus,
yes.
so they will miss this game, this particular game. But again, with the quality Senegal possess, you still have the likes of Idrissa Gueye, you still have the likes of Napoli's and Mendy of Leicester City. You still have Sadio Mane, who is going to be their main man. I think Senegal still have much in their armor to actually displace a Zimbabwean side. They are the top-ranked team in Africa, so I expect it to be an easy win for Aliou Cissé's men.
Okay, so there you have it. Joba has given you tip number 2, talking about the match between Senegal and Zimbabwe. It should be a straightforward win for Senegal. Now, it must be said, for those who do not know, that over the course of the last 3 years, Sadio Mane has scored over 60% of Senegal's goals, and that's a fact. So it shows you that when it comes to goal scoring, that's the man Senegal will be looking forward to, especially since Ismail Assar could not make the trip down to Cameroon. Remember the squabble with Watford and the injury concerns. Now, let's move over to the last match we'll have to preview, and Gabon against Comoros. Gabon, with the whole Aubameyang saga, having left us now early to resume campaign. Comoros are debutants at the edition. Straightforward win, although Gabon also have issues with COVID. Some players are out due to COVID, but it should be a straightforward victory. Yeah,
one of the players out due to COVID, I think, is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang,
yes,
and Mario Lemina also. So I think those are their two best players. Those are the two best players they have in their squad. So if you take those two players out, then it suddenly becomes
almost balanced,
an even game. You understand? But Comoros are only making their debut.
Although they defeated Ghana about 2 years ago in the qualifiers, 1-0.
Yeah, but going into the competition proper is actually a different story. It's a different story entirely. And the Ghana they defeated, just as I said earlier about the Ghana-Morocco, Ghana squad right now is not really a squad that strikes fear into you. In fact, one of the players they called up plays in Swindon Town. You understand? And Swindon Town is actually not even in the Sky Bet Championship.
Yeah,
you understand? So I think Comoros will feel confident in their chances going into the game, especially with Aubameyang and Lemina out. But considering it's their debut and people don't really expect them to do anything big, I think they can play the game through and without pressure and all that. So the pressure is already on Gabon, because the winner of these two teams, they really need to beat Comoros if they are to qualify for the next round. So I think I will go with Gabon just to edge it narrowly.
Okay, there you have it, talking about Gabon against Comoros. That should also be an entertaining affair. And that's how we'll wrap up the show when it comes to our African Cup of Nations segment. Remember, 3 matches. You have Ghana against Morocco, you have Senegal against Zimbabwe, and you also have Guinea against Malawi. Those are the 3 matches that you should predict, and you should be able to predict correctly the scorelines of 2 out of the 3 to stand a chance to win our amazing prizes. The only time for this game is that you have to follow us on our social media platforms, and you can rest assured that you would win amazing prizes. Now let's delve into club football, European club football, away from the continental showpiece. And there were no Premier League matches over the weekend, but you had the FA Cup, and that's a competition where the big boys are often slayed by the minnows, so to speak. A shocking result yesterday. Arsenal, despite having a good run of form over the last 6-8 weeks, that's seen them make the top 4 for the first time in over 18 months, were shocked by Nottingham Forrest, and it was a lone goal. You wouldn't even have expected that Arsenal, with the way they've been playing, won't even get a goal in the match. What went wrong?
I think, number one, arrogance played a part.
They're complacent?
Yeah, I think they went to the game thinking they were just going to roll over this championship side. That, okay, we are in a good form and we have better quality. than Nottingham Forest. So I think that played a part in it. So I think they underestimated the strength and the quality and the determination of Nottingham Forest. And don't forget, the last time they lost at this stage also, it was also Nottingham Forest that dumped them out. You understand?
More like a boogie team.
Yeah, and I think the Arteta also was probably keeping an eye on the Carabao Cup game that was postponed initially.
That will be played this Thursday.
Yeah, that will be played this Thursday against Liverpool, which I find it ridiculous and absurd, because you are giving up a chance to win a cup competition for another cup competition, which I really don't, and it's not like it's a given that you're going to beat Liverpool, because
it's even over 2 legs.
Yeah, you understand. So I think they had a higher chance of beating Nottingham Forest than Liverpool. So why not play a full squad, a squad that you know that that can actually beat Nottingham Forest?
Maybe because that's the semi-finals.
Nottingham Forest. Yeah, it's the semi-final, but you still have two games to play. So even if you lose to Liverpool on Thursday, you can still make corrections and probably try to win the game in the return leg. But at the end of the day, it's backfired and they are out of the FA Cup right now. It will be judged on what Arsenal does in the League Cup and what they do also in the Premier League, where
it's still not
they
certain.
have to actually finish in the top four. And it's not really certain, because we have the likes of West Ham, we have the likes of Manchester United, we have the likes of Tottenham Hotspur. So I think it's really, really, really a disappointing moment for Arsenal this season.
Quick one: do you think they can make the top 4, Arsenal?
Not really. I don't think so, because I believe they have the squad.
Maybe top
outside
6?
The top 6, they have the best squad outside the top 6. But the problem is this: they failed to pick up points against all their top four rivals. They failed to pick up points against Tottenham. They failed to pick up against Chelsea, Liverpool, as Manchester City and Manchester United. They've lost all those. They picked up points against Tottenham. They beat Tottenham. But
they lost to City.
Yeah, but aside from Tottenham, they've lost all games against their top 6 rivals. So I'm not really sure if that will be enough to actually get them into the top 4. And it's not like they're going to beat the rest of the teams outside the top 6. You understand? Yes. So I don't really think so. So especially with Conte now at Tottenham and Manchester United, I think it will be a race. It will be between them, West Ham, Manchester United, and Tottenham. So and I'm not really sure they have the quality that is actually to go on a consistent run of winning form. You understand? So I don't think they will make the top 4.
Okay, there you have it, talking about Arsenal and the chances of a top 4 finish. Remember, it's a marathon when it comes to the league, and May 28th, the winner would have to lift the Premier League title. Definitely Arsenal is not in the reckoning, but for a top 4 finish, that's what Mikel Arteta and his men need to struggle and strive to ensure that they attain that feat. It's yet to be seen, but right now they're in the top 4, and it's looking good for Arsenal Football Club and all Gunners across the world. We'll go on a break right now. When we return, we'll be talking about the business aspect of sports. So stick around.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's true unripe plantain flour.
True unripe plantain flour is delicious.
Yes, True unripe plantain flour is what I serve my husband for swallows. It's easy to prepare, fortified with vitamin A, low in sugar and cholesterol, rich in fiber that helps the heart, builds and strengthens the bone, and his energy level is boosted.
Through unripe plantain flour, no additives, 100% natural, a product of Pali Agro Products Nigeria. Through unripe plantain flour, available in all leading stores nationwide.
Thanks for staying tuned. You are still on to the arena, coming to you live from our studios in Lagos, Nigeria, iBrandTV precisely. Now it's time to talk about business, as I said, and we'll start from the MLS, which is the Major League Soccer, talking about the league in America that has to do with football. And Inter Miami FC, which is David Beckham's club, and Miami City have struck a deal on a $1 billion project to redevelop the Melrose Golf Course as well as the country club into a stadium and surrounding commerce area. Now, the deal, which has Mayor Francis Suarez's backing, must now go before a city commission vote, which could happen sometime this month. The project is designed around a roughly 27,000 seat stadium capacity and would also include a shopping mall, hotel, and park. Inter Miami will pick up the cost of this land, estimated at $35 million, while the city of Miami will receive revenue from the operations. Inter Miami is valued at around $650 million right now. Joba, lots of money, $1 billion. Well, maybe it's understandable because it was not a football, it wasn't a bare ground. It was a golf course that that needs to be redeveloped or remodeled into a stadium. But it will have modern facilities, hotel, park, shopping mall, casinos. $1 billion.
I'm actually shocked that Inter Miami is valued at
$650
million because I'm not really sure of that figure because I don't really think anybody knows Inter Miami
that's the figures out there.
Inter Miami like that, because even some Premier League clubs are not I don't think Leicester City you could value them at 650.
But they've been for a while. They've won the league,
600. But it just shows how football is actually a business right now. Everything is business oriented and all that. So it's always funny when people try to say, okay, football is for the fans. And all that. And it shows how expensive it is to build a particular a stadium from the ground right now, which is why most clubs now prefer to actually redevelop, renovate their stadiums instead of actually building one. Look at Liverpool; they had to redevelop the main stand at Anfield. Even Real Madrid had to redevelop Santiago Bernabeu. I think only AC Milan and Inter Milan actually decided to let's build another stadium. And I can understand because in Italy most of the stadiums are old and they are government owned. So and it reduces the revenue this clubs can generate. So I can understand, but it's a good one for David Beckham and the Inter Miami team.
Okay, let's still talk about this time around basketball. I beg your pardon. Sinclair Broadcast Group is close to securing deals to air NBA games on its new streaming service after securing $600 million of financing to support the expansion. Talking about Sinclair Group. The deal will provide Sinclair Sports Network unit, known as Diamond Sports Group, with regional digital rights to the NBA, adding to the broadcast rights Sinclair already owns. The funding would also help Diamond develop the new streaming app in the first half of 2022, as it manages $8.1 billion in debt, a byproduct of its sale to Sinclair in 2019 and a recent drop in viewership. Sinclair posted $1.5 billion in revenue in third quarter of 2021, which is the same amount generated in the third quarter of 2020. Now, the flat performance was the result of declines in subscribers and advertising revenue, which dropped to $446 million during the quarter, an 11% decrease year over year. Now, Sinclair, which currently owns TV rights for 16 NBA teams, is projected 4.4 million streaming customers by 2027. Joba, it's the norm now, technology advancements, folks pay for subscription sites, streaming services, Sinclair Group, you've been able to get $600 million funding to acquire more rights for NBA, and they're in debt, $8.1 billion.
Yeah, but the thing is, they actually know they'll definitely recoup the money back, because the NBA is actually a big brand.
Definitely.
And I think probably outside, aside from the bigger Premier League, I think is also is the next biggest brand in the world of sports. So I think it's a smart business move from Sinclair, and you know how big basketball is in America. Even in Nigeria, yeah, basketball is actually also big. You could say, okay, maybe it's not as popular as the Premier League, but because football is our #1 sport, but you could still see the reactions the NBA generates, the likes of LeBron James, even when Klay Thompson came back from injury after two years, you could see the reaction from Nigerians on Twitter and all that. So I think it's a smart move from Sinclair.
Okay, and let's round up, talking business now before we delve into other sports because of time constraint. RB Leipzig has signed a 2-year partnership deal with 888 Sports. Now, the deal is the betting brand's first with the Bundesliga club, and as part of the deal, you have 888 Sport receiving branding in the Red Bull Arena and on the team's digital properties. The betting firm will also become the presenting partner of the club's prediction game, a fan activation which allows the supporters to win a range of prizes, including signed shirts, VIP access, as well as season tickets. So that's in terms of club sponsorship and partnership. You have Red Bull partnering with that betting firm there, 888 Sports. And I think there's so many betting firms coming into the world of sports right about now.
Which is actually funny and ironic, because you keep seeing campaigns against betting and betting addiction and all that.
Gambling and all, yeah.
Yet these clubs still also actually allow betting companies also to sponsor them. But
everything should be done in moderation.
But again, as I said earlier, football is now business. It's not about money. It's about money now. It's not really, football doesn't really care about fans' passion or anything right now. So it's just about the business side right now.
Okay, now let's talk about other sports, and we'll have to talk about tennis. Novak Djokovic. It's been in the news for the wrong reasons over the last few days. And the judge that heard his case ruled in his favor and ordered his immediate release from detention. Remember, the detention is not, your regular prison cells, but rather detention in terms of the hotel facility where Australian border forces keep immigrants from, getting into the country. So his immediate release was ordered by the judge that they did not give him enough time to hear him make a case for himself. Now, the issue is, he may still be deported. Maybe we should break it down for the people at home to understand. So Novak Djokovic, yes, he had until 8:30. It was told that he had until 8:30 on Thursday morning, that's last week Thursday, to be able to explain why he came in with a visa that does not allow vaccination exemptions, and that's where the issue lies. Most people don't know. They just think it's some sort of victimization, but it's far from that. His medical exemptions were accepted and were approved by 2 independent bodies of physicians and all of that. And that was not the problem. But the problem is that the visa upon which he got into Australia with did not permit for vaccination exemption. And that's why he was, detained in that hotel facility. Now, the judge has ordered his immediate release, but he can still get deported because the Australian laws empowers the Minister of Immigration to use the discretion.
Yeah, and I think they also said they can still cancel deporting based on his COVID-19 and vaccinations.
But he's not vaccinated. He has admitted.
He admitted he's not vaccinated and all that. And I think at the end of the day, the problem starts with the Tennis Australia, because I don't really understand why they actually gave him the exemption when you could have prevented this. Also,
he brought the exemption from Serbia too.
So also Djokovic also could have prevented all this drama by getting vaccinated. And
if you don't want to get vaccinated, stay away from the competition.
That was what Kyrie Irving did
exactly.
with the NBA and all that. But in the long run, at a point, it might need to get vaccinated because the French Open, the US Open,
Definitely,
Wimbledon,
it
and
will
all
affect his
that
career.
also have this kind of policy in place. So I don't really know how he's going to get through this tournament or through the course of the year.
Not just even the year, but also, you know, going forward, because that's the new reality.
That's it.
Okay, we have to wrap up now due to time constraint, but we would not go without telling you about the NBA, talking about Klay Thompson's return, where he scored 17 points in his return within 19 minutes of play. And Steve Kerr, the coach of Golden State Warriors, has said that he will be, you know, brought back, eased back into the game gradually, having missed out on 31 months of action. That's over 2 years of being sidelined due to various injuries. Thank you so much to the production crew, Joba. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me once again.
I'm expecting my New Year, the chicken and, you know what I'm talking about.
No wala.
Thanks to you, the viewers out there, for watching and making it happen. You guys are the real MVP, as I say. Till the arena comes your way tomorrow, do stay safe. And remember to send in your predictions. 2 out of the 3 matches we mentioned must be correct. I'm Samson Lady. Do have a wonderful day.